Jaden Jermy. I'm a safer Street Warden. Our role is to patrol Thetford and enforce the PSPO area. It's also to engage with the community and prevent any crime. Antisocial behaviour will be causing any alarm or distress, so there'll be sort of street drinking in public, abandoned vehicles, large groups congregating, sort of screaming or intimidating members of the public. So the most common we've seen is, as I said, street drinking. That's a very big one in Thetford, especially around certain areas as well. Me and Dalton have identified those areas, and every day we patrol around the area and normally confiscate a couple of drinks. Typically we confiscate about 6 drinks a day. The highest we've confiscated is about 14 drinks a day. So the point of view for everyone is, if they actually give up the open vessel, we don't give them a fixed penalty fine because they've done nothing wrong. Normally they give up their drink, and that's how we find the solution. Generally, everyone is very nice to us. It's just the certain people that we actually have to enforce don't obviously get along with us because we're giving them a fine or taking away their open vessel and they've just paid for it. So the challenges we face are just a typical ones you expect to face, really, when people are unhappy that we actually have to give them a fine or take away their drink. A big part is that we are sort of here to sort of prevent any sort of crime and help the community. So we've got to remember we always have to have good communication with the public, listen to them, anything they need we will try and help with. That's the big part of our job role, is to communicate with the public. So as long as we stay calm, communicate with the public, we prevent, deter, I think we're doing our job. So you've got to remember, some people depend on alcohol, so it's not like just taking it off some teenagers that have finished sixth form university. These people sometimes have further troubles giving up alcohol, so they can get rather angry. So great communication skills is needed by us for them to hand over the alcohol. And in the past we have spoke beforehand, where we have this sort of agreement that the first time it's just a warning, the second time is a written warning, and the third time is a fixed penalty fine. And they tend to listen, and they don't want to get any warning by us. So I think we've actually gave out 4 warnings, which is really good, considering there's about 15 street drinkers that are out every day. And generally, when we see them drinking, they put it in the bin. So I'm really pleased that we can actually communicate with the street drinkers, and they're relatively calm and happy to give up their drink. I've seen huge improvements around Thetford, even the small sort of tidier streets, all the way to shops being closed down due to them selling to underage illegal tobacco, vapes. We've done a lot of cases with abandoned vehicles, fly tipping. As I said earlier, we've confiscated a lot of drinks, and people generally seem a lot happier that the street drinkers have actually moved location away from the town centre, and now they feel they can walk through alleyways and through certain parts of the town centre more comfortably. I really enjoy getting to know people from the community, and if we can help them, we do love to help them. There's been cases where just sort of some people could say little things is actually someone else's big problem, and we've been able to sort out, for example, people drinking near his house, sort of fly tipping. So it's just helping the community. We're not police. We're not here to arrest anyone. We're here to just engage and make sure everyone's safe. I feel like we do a lot of work, and I think it's really showing in the community. And you just have to speak to the community around us, and they can tell you what we do and how long we patrol for, and how well we're doing. So we've been carrying out a local survey just to get feedback. We've had sort of certain questions, like have they seen a decrease or increase or sort of ASB in the area, youth ASB, sort of street drinking, drugs, and if they feel safer. And we've had a really positive feedback from many businesses. I think we've done around 50 businesses, and I'd say about 85% are very pleased with our work. A positive feedback moment would be there was a big case in the area with shoplifting, and we made sure we were sort of frequently around the area when the times the shopkeepers were saying it was happening. There was one time there's a group that normally go into sort of charity shops or local independent shops in large numbers, so they're distracting the shopkeepers, and there's not enough eyes to watch them. They were going into shops of about 14 of them going into one sort of local independent shop with only 2 staff. So we made sure we were there. We had the body cam switched on when we entered the shop, and she was very pleased, and they said the group haven't been back. So what would probably surprise you is just the fact of how many sort of powers and what we can actually do and get up to on the daily sort of shift pattern. It's just not just walking around the town and being visible. We communicate with near enough 12 stores a shift. We just sort of get their recent sort of feedback, and if they've got any issues, then we sort of we can sidetrack from the town centre to an external hotspot where sort of youths have been gathering, causing damage to other shops away from the town centre. And on the way, there's normally fly tips we can report and sort of make investigational startings to. Abandoned vehicles, we can write them up and get them processed, ready to go. When we also help out with licensing, so if we've sort of seen a youth under the age of 18 come out of a store with alcohol per se, we can feed that back to the licensing department, and they could possibly arrange a visit with the police. So we do a lot of things. We also help out with a rough sleeper team, so that sometimes we're near external hotspots. There might be a little forest. We might have a little wander and see if we can see anyone. If they've been discovered by the rough sleeper team, and if the rough sleeper team know they're there, we can sort of signpost them to local sort of areas that they can possibly get food from. There's a great area near Pine Close where you can get free food if you're struggling. I'm currently studying at university psychology of criminology. I'm in year 2, and I saw this job role come about while I was still studying, and I thought I could really sort of grasp it up and help the community, especially with my set of skills. And I'm very thankful I did get this job, and I feel like we are making a big impact. And unfortunately, Thetford does have a bad reputation, but sort of walking on the beat every day for several hours, I must say the historical value of Thetford needs to be still used and saved, because it's still a great town, and I feel like we are helping it rediscover its former ways and being an important town and a safe town. I'd like the role to continue. I feel like it'll be very beneficial. I've heard it's going to be in the sort of Great Yarmouth area, so I think any town that has safe street wardens will have a positive impact, and I'm sure it will make the town and place safer. Keep trust and faith in the safer street wardens. We are doing everything we can to improve on the community. Also, if you've got any problems, please come to us and we can try and help any way we can. We will help. So keep trust and faith.